It's time for Against the Spread. And it's brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Roy, what do we got?
Big one tonight, Carolina Hurricanes, Montreal Canadiens. The Canadiens can clinch a playoff spot with 1 point if they lose in regulation, and Columbus wins tomorrow in regulation, and Columbus makes the playoffs. So this is a big game for Montreal. Carolina has nothing to play for. Now, Montreal has won 8 straight games against the East, and Carolina has failed to cover the puck line in the last 8 games against the Atlantic Division. So I got the Canadiens winning this one. They are 1.5 goal favorites against the spread.
I've got to tell all you guys, the hockey show sometimes on Fridays, I couldn't believe when I walked in here today and Roy and Zaslow are so confident about their hockey team.
Stanley Cup champs.
Why wouldn't you be?
Oh, no. I'm just saying that when the Panthers lose 5-1 to the Lightning, you would understand how and why I have some post-traumatic stress disorder. Even if the Panthers are not actually playing their people, it's just Tampa in general. You'd all understand why I would have some visions that perhaps you don't have.
Hockey can hockey. I'm with Dan on this. I'm nervous.
Look, it's been a year. They can come get that ass took. All right, let's go.
Yeah, man.
Tony,
bring the baton now.
Bring us home.
Big one tonight in the association, the Miami Heat versus the Chicago Bulls tonight. Dan, I know what you're thinking. This is a Miami Heat show. Okay, this is Miami. We want the Heat to win. Not so fast, my friend. 2% chance at Cooper Flag. You know exactly what we're doing. We're betting with the Miami Heat. Why? Reverse jinx. If I put money on them, they're going to lose.
Like it.
All of a sudden, that pick'em spread becomes a lot larger. I'm going to take the Miami Heat +1.
My man.
Bulls have been feisty, by the way.
What
I
you
mean,
did there.
Giddy has been incredible. Colby White, Bazilis, very good. I'm going to go Miami Heat +1.
I mean, are the Bulls
spread.
indeed very good? They put 150 up on the Lakers.
Giddy was
at the
good.
Lakers.
Giddy was good.
I would say they're younger and more fun than the Heat.
This is the most optimistic Chicago has been in years in terms of like, oh, now it looks like we have the makings of something that can grow into something a little bit more. They're fun to watch. They play up and down. Kobe White, what a story about him, because remember, he was in the doghouse when Billy Donovan first came in. They didn't want him. They put him out to pasture. But then through injuries and his own improvement, he won back his spot. And now I think Billy Donovan's one of his favorite guards. So Chicago, believe it or not, the feel-good story. If you want something new and exciting, you root for Chicago against Miami tonight. But Dan, I just want to say one more thing about last night. Walking into that building and seeing all the chairs with the gold shirts on it, and then watching Orlando and Atlanta, everyone had the blue shirts on. God, this is the best time of year, ain't it? Oh, my God. It's like all that other bull about, like, load management, blah, blah, blah. It's done.
We're back.
Now we're back, baby. Our basketball is at a high level. Everyone's going crazy. When Steph Curry hit that last 3 and just walked down the court, looking dead at the camera, everyone lost their mind. I was like, oh, my God, the NBA is back.
All right, but it's not bullshit, though, because the NBA last night is showing you they're a good product when the players try. Like, it's not bullshit.
Well, when they play.
Okay, you guys are saying that, and I understand your love of basketball. I love it, too. But please do not bring Orlando, Atlanta around here as if I have
Just the colors.
Hold on. You didn't like Paolo Banchero last night taking over? Trae Young, frustrated, gets ejected?
Yes,
Dan, you're rooting for a Pacers-Clippers
That
final.
is true. You are rooting for that.
Trae Young gave me some of the content I need there. Orlando and Atlanta playing games that I can hide on NBA TV and not have to worry about them mattering in 6 weeks or not. I've been watching those for – look, Trae Young is that frustrated because he's been playing in many of those games for Atlanta.
One of my favorite pastimes, I'm sure Tony shares this with me, is which one of these series is going to be the NBA TV series?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you right now, Cleveland, Atlanta, book it. Yeah. Cleveland, Atlanta, straight to NBA TV.
That's right, yeah.
You're assuming Atlanta's going to win that.
Yeah, against Chicago or Miami.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not impressed. I mean, look, Trae Young is that frustrated because it's been frustrating to beat Trae Young since he left Madison Square Garden in the playoffs, and he's frustrating. His trade value, like what happened last night with Trae Young, immature, unprofessional, ridiculous, and not at all surprising. He's been a Hawk for a long time, and the Hawks have been the Hawks for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it's always chicken and the egg, right? Are the Hawks because of Trae Young, or is Trae Young suffering because the Hawks are the Hawks? It's probably a little bit of everything feeding into each other as far as what's happening. There are a lot of people who feel like Trae Young should be the one to go if you're Atlanta and you're trying to repurpose yourselves. They've got pieces to like, right? Jalen Johnson, who's hurt, but like when he was playing, that's when the Hawks were at their best. Obviously Dyson Daniels was a great find for them this year. After everyone said, oh my God, they traded DeJounte Murray after a couple of years of that experiment not working. You get Dyson Daniels, who was okay in New Orleans, comes in here. He's one of the front runners for Defensive Player of the Year. Like, I think the Hawks have things to look forward to, but there does seem to be a cap as far as how good they can be as long as Trae Young is there.
I don't think we've mentioned this yet today. Golden State and Memphis last night, great game. Has there ever been a more anticlimactic finish?
Oh, no. Look, in the building, it was amazing, dude.
Oh,
it
on
was
television,
electric.
it was brutal. Brutal.
Well,
5 seconds.
The 5-second count was
Come
You know what's
on.
crazy? All my friends in the group text said, that felt like faster than 5 seconds. And I sat next to Nate Duncan, and we timed it. We literally put the timer on.
What was it?
And it was like six and change. Like
get the ball in,
and
man.
didn't even look like he was about to pass it in.
Maybe he didn't know. Does he think you just get all the time you want to throw it in?
And Curry was on ball, too. So it's not like they have posts. It's not like they have a 7-footer. It's Curry trying to do his best. And Aldana's here like, I'm good.
I mean, what are we doing with the Rockets where the Warriors are minus 190 to win that series?
Stu.
So, Stugotz, this is what's happening here. On the one hand, the Rockets, great season, tough defensive team, very physical. And of all the players in the NBA who have had to guard Steph Curry this year, I think Thompson has done perhaps the best job. He's just exact in terms of size, in terms of defense and IQ and all that stuff. But first time at the rodeo, and you know what happens at the first time at the rodeo, Stugotz? The bull rides the horns or something like that. I don't know.
Nailed it.
That's what happened.
What
yeah.
was
His
that?
first
right.
rodeo.
What
He's never
was
been to a
that?
It's his
rodeo.
first rodeo.
How was that a way
rodeo.
to dismount on the segment? I've never been to a rodeo.
We've talked a lot today about tickets. Zaslo's trying to go to Pearl Jam. The NBA playoffs are starting. The perfect app to use. Download the Game Time app. Create an account. Use code Dan for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets. Lowest price guaranteed.
Is anyone here aware, as we did everything that we did there with Pablo and Samson? I've never seen Samson laugh like that. He was spasming.
It was real emotion.
He was violently spasming because he knows how funny it is that I was apologizing for something that embarrassed me, and then I did it again. And I'm not sure the audience or you guys still know what it is that I was apologizing for.
No idea.
In the dark, Dan.
I think you made it seem like you're angry at Pablo, right? That's the impression I had when I walked in today.
A lot of people were confused earlier this week by something that I said because we were making fun of the Peabody Award. And the Peabody Award is a very prestigious award.
If you say so.
So you were apologizing to the Peabody.
No.
Hey, I'm lost.
Well, who then?
So no one, still, as we do this, no one understands what I'm embarrassed about, what I'm apologizing for, and Zaslow still doesn't know the truth of why it is Pablo would be mad at me.
And also, is Zaslow going to get tickets?
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I'm confused
about
I'm
that
the
one.
only one trying. I can
Huge
tell you
story
much.
that needs a conclusion.
But also, David Sampson, you claim, has a better ticket guy than you do?
Well, I thought that David Sampson, by virtue of being in billionaire company, would have a better ticket guy than I have. But he said he couldn't get Pearl Jam tickets in a week and couldn't necessarily get good tickets. And I think I
No.
can.
I have seen Sampson's ticket guy at work, and he's phenomenal. He can get him the day of. He just doesn't want to do it for Zaslow. That's
Yeah, I mean,
Sampson made
we're
that
not
clear.
close. We
Yeah.
barely know each other.
Right.
I get that. I get it.
Zaz, why don't people want to waste their good ticket guy on you?
Well, that part
That's
I
hurtful.
don't know, because these are my good friends that I'm in the room with right now, and it seems like they're a lot more interested in competing with each other
No.
than they are in helping me out. I'm losing. I can't sleep at night. At 3 a.m. last night, I rolled over in my bed. It's all I can think about. I grabbed my phone. I almost bought tickets for $2,000 last night. I can't sleep. I need to get my life back in order.
I mean, you've seen him a bunch, though. I mean, how many times can you?
Okay, you sound like my wife. All right. Not sure that's the angle you're looking for.
Right.
I
Different show.
I just
Different
feel like
show.
after the 16th time, you're
No.
like, I feel like I got a
No,
good
because
grasp.
Pearl Jam, very much like Dead and Company, you're getting basically a different show every time.
That's why we need to go to both shows next week, because one show has nothing to do with the other, and I cannot be sitting in my home knowing that 10 minutes from my house,
tough, yeah.
Pearl Jam is playing, and instead I'm in the Zaslow Mansion family room on the couch sitting in my underwear.
It can't be a different set list every time.
Okay, but
they've
it
gotta
is.
have,
No, it is.
They've got to have like 10 that
It
they,
is.
you know, they
Again,
go.
it feels like you're trying to do the best impersonation of my wife that you possibly can, and I can tell you right now, you're nailing it.
So you're saying that?
I mean, I don't know who that is.
Jeremy.
Sounds like Nickelback.
Just breathe, Zazzle.
Oh, I love that one.
I need to get my life back.
His lip is quivering. Look.
He cares. I mean,
I've known Zaslow for a long time. I've known Zaslow is crazy for a long time. There is nothing in the world he is as crazy about as Pearl Jam.
It's so important to me.
the heat. I mean,
It's so important to me, and I'm super stressed at the idea that I don't have tickets to these shows next week because I am trying so hard.
Zaz, I give you the option of either lifetime tickets, great seats
I like this question.
to Pearl Jam.
Go on.
Or you on the broadcast for Miami Heat 4 in a row championships, the first since the Celtics all the way back in the 60s.
Okay, but I was on the broadcast for 2 Heat championships.
No, I'm saying 4 in a row.
I'm a 2-time champion broadcaster.
I'm saying 4 in a row.
hit
4
it,
in a
please.
row.
Thank you.
Thank you. On the broadcast for 4 in a row, back to back to back to back, like the Fred McGriff baseball, right? Or,
Well said.
thank you.
I knew
Rhyme
exactly.
dog.
I knew
Not
exactly what he
I
was
did too, but he had to throw in
Whatsoever.
Fred McGriff after blah, blah, blah. He sounded like Eddie Vedder.
Back to back AAU
There
championship.
you go.
Rod
Or
McGriff.
lifetime,
Crime Dog.
lifetime Pearl Jam, great seats, not like front row, but great seats, any venue in the world.
That.
Wow. What about 5 Heat championships in a row?
But I already have 2.
I mean,
Okay, what about-
I mean, you're doing this very poorly. I'm going to have to stop you for a number of different reasons, including that you're doing this very poorly. So just
Am
don't.
I?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
yes, you
Wow.
are.
Minor penalty, 2 minutes scrambling.
The question is, Zaslow, who do you love more, Pearl Jam or the Heat?
Say it, Zaslow. You know the
I love
answer.
Pearl Jam more.
Yeah,
I
Wow.
love Pearl Jam more.
it's okay.
I do. Pearl Jam
It's
more.
you feel good? You feel better?
I feel okay about it.
Right.
Doesn't mean I don't love the Heat. I love Pearl Jam more.
Yep.
I
know
said
you
what I
do.
said.
I know you do.
Two-time champion broadcaster.
Okay, I can love other things as well in my life. My love is not exclusive to one thing.
I can't believe that.
Pearl Jam or wife?
Well, see, I mean, now
Take it easy,
You're
Zaslow. Take
laying
it
out
easy.
really-
I care about you,
Take
man.
it easy.
really tough scenario. I don't know why you put me in that position.
Does she watch this?
Answer it.
He can't just take what's there. He has to always ask for more.
Just say your wife, for crying out loud.
Of course, my wife.
Good man. Good man.
The better way to ask that question is, who do you like better, the Heat or your wife? Because then he can just
like a little tournament to get to Pearl Jam.
yes, a
Brackets.
play-in game.
Build up, a play-in. Well, let's play it. Wife or Heat?
My wife, my kids, the Heat.
The Panthers.
Pearl Jam.
A nice little play in
Well,
here.
I actually want to see if David Sampson can negotiate how much free work out of Zaz in exchange for free Pearl Jam tickets. I want to ask you guys 2 questions. One starts with last segment.
Hope my wife's not listening.
She's not. I assure you, she's not. Right. The last segment, okay, Roy and Zaz, I wanted to carry us into hockey playoffs. Here they come. what a magical time.
You and I were ready to sit back and watch two guys talk
Cook.
Yes.
We were going to watch Roy and Zaz cook. And Roy decided to do a lot of analysis in Against the Spread that gave us the start to some hockey. But all Zaslow gave us while I was trying to get, let's Panthers Lightning, they hate each other, let's see what we could get there. I felt off of my partner of 20 years here that Stugotz felt the same thing that I did, which is we were tossing a lob to Zaslow and we were going to watch the boys. We were going to watch the boys work for a while. And then both Stugotz and I got confused by get that ass took.
Yeah.
As analysis. As analysis.
Yeah.
It's just like.
And then we had to come back to the mic. I wasn't expecting to come back.
The hockey show sometimes on Friday, like they break it down and they'll explain to you what's happening between Tampa and Florida. But get that ass took was not helpful. It just wasn't helpful.
That's right. It's been a full year since the Panthers met up with the Tampa Bay Lightning in the playoffs. It's time we take that ass again.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what's on tap. Lightning, Panthers, playoffs. Let's take that ass. Who doesn't understand what that means?
Ain't nobody scared of the Lightning, man.
World Roar 3. Or no, 4, right? Which one is it?
Four.
Yeah,
It's
4.
Yeah.
We got him.
Again, the taking of the ass.
Why take it?
You know exactly what he means.
Why not take it?
They're not going to give it to you.
It's not analysis. It's
You have to take it.
anal
Roy, right?
asses.
I'd rather kick it. Kick that ass, not take it.
The Panthers and the Lightning are in front of me, and somebody, and in this case it was you, says, what's going to happen? Sometimes less is more. Panthers going to take that ass.
Yeah. I'm with Zaz on this. You take that ass.
Yeah.
But we wanted more. I mean,
No. When you take that ass, thereby
Tell me,
own
Roy.
it.
And I'll
Tell
tell
me.
you what
Own that
else.
ass now.
I'll tell you what else. I saw a post on Twitter yesterday
Thank you.
how the Toronto Maple Leafs,
Yeah.
that they won the division. Guess what? It's been 2 years, and that's 2 years too long. Could take that ass too.
we're taking two asses.
Two asses. Cutting it up. I remember when Tampa was the ass taker.
That was a long time ago, Dan.
Wasn't that
Kucherov took our ass.
Wasn't that long ago?
So
Wasn't that long ago?
Is the ass they're taking now? Are they taking their own ass back, or is that a new ass?
They're claiming that no ass was taken last night. That it was just 5-1 Tampa, and it doesn't matter.
He played half the squad.
Playing guys I never even heard of.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Understood. It's still Tampa.
So?
But there's no ass
We're the
reclamation.
Panthers, baby. I don't know if you paid attention the last 2 years in the postseason.
I think
their ass.
once you take the ass, it's yours.
I mean, I recall the last 2 postseasons.
What happened?
Panthers taking that ass is what I recall.
That's what I'm talking about.
So after they took the ass, was a new ass came out and they took that ass too? Or?
Yeah, I mean, you see, you can't play without an ass.
Like a lizard tail.
Yeah. And they're going to meet again this weekend in Tampa. Look, series starts in Tampa. That's okay because you know what's going to happen anyway. Take that ass.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm sitting in the middle of a market where I just saw our resident legend radio hockey people have the back and forth efficient exchange of Tampa. So? What do you mean Tampa so?
That's right.
Tampa's been a haunt. They've been a haunting franchise that made you completely change everything that you were doing blueprint-wise because they've owned Florida for the last 7 years.
Dan, I think we're wrong on this. I mean, the Panthers just won a Stanley Cup. I mean,
Their
they should be
time
max confident right now.
is done.
Yes.
You understand you understand how I'm watching basketball and everyone's still here saying, I don't know about LeBron. I don't know about Steph. And both of you are like, Tampa so. You can't look at me in the face, see what this franchise has done for 30 years, and go Tampa so.
I bet you
Those days are
Zaslow
long
can.
gone, playa.
No.
You know how I can? I hit Stugotz. Ask me right now. Pose the question. Tampa, Panthers, what do you think? Go ahead.
right.
I'll play it out for you
But
again.
look
Maybe you
Dan,
missed it.
look Dan in the face, okay?
Yeah.
Look him right in the eyes,
Wow.
okay?
Wow.
Lightning, Panthers, what do you think?
Look at this face while I tell this to you. Okay, because I don't want there to be any kind of confusion. You look me right in the eye. Panthers are going to take that ass, man.
Dan,
Worried about
He looked you
Tampa
right in
Bay
the eye.
Lightning.
I mean,
Dan, I'm looking you right at the eye right now.
oh,
Go
wow, this is serious.
You want the smoke, Roy?
Go on.
Yeah. So, right in your eyes. I'm saying so.
Coming back here, 2-0 series lead.
Yep.
I'll take the smoke.
That's right.
This is beat for beat exactly how Icarus went down, right? Like he was flying and he said, the sun gonna take that ass.
Who?
The sun melted that ass.
Something happened yesterday on the show that I need to show the audience because it's the reason that John Amici, a hero of mine for a lot of reasons, is braving customs and everything else to fly in here and make sure that our company is protected during a prosperous time. And so that we can do all the corporate exorcism around here we have to do so that David Sampson cannot win. He cannot be the one who wins at the end. It has to be the rest of us that win. It cannot be David Sampson.
I'm just like the visual you've created of braving customs. Like he's like fighting through.
Just walks through the gate. It's like, I'm
when
here.
really it's just like a sad like S line where he's just like,
He's got global entry, too. He walks right in.
He comes right in the way Amin catches the red eye and launches in. His Uber driver.
Launching like just.
I wish I had video of you running through that airport.
Like OJ.
I mean, from
Like OJ.
From Golden State, Memphis to get to this thing.
jumping over the chair.
Yes.
No, I'm telling you. And people in the airport like to take their sweet time when they walk.
always.
And don't let them be in a group of 2 or 3. They'll walk as wide as possible. And so the moving walkways, which it should help, couldn't use them because I saw it. As I was sprinting, there's like 3 or 4 people, these clumps. I'm like, that's not going to work.
You gotta on your left. Come on.
Not
like,
even.
let's go.
Just skipped it.
Skating by.
I ran manual, right here, just like OJ, running, hurdling. I even had a trench coat. I didn't even bring it to the airport, but all of a sudden it's under my arm.
Just appeared there.
Are we allowed to play that commercial? I think that's that commercial
There's no
is
way.
so old that I don't believe that many people listening to this have any idea what you're talking about. But it's like it might be the first famous sports commercial.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, OJ was one of the first famous pitchmen who, if you think about the evolution of the sportsman as a pitchman, right? Usually it's, I'm here in my jersey with my ball underneath my arm so you know what I do. And then it turns into, I'm wearing colors that are similar to the colors of my jersey, and other people around me are playing the sport, but I'm not. And then it's the Peyton Manning level, which is the highest level, which is, I can just be a regular dude, and I don't need to explain to you who I am, right? That's the highest level of fame, right? OJ was that, like, yes, the running through the airport because he's OJ, but it's like he didn't have anything identifying him as a football player. There was no football in the background. It was just him sprinting through the airport.
What are you smiling about, Zaslow?
I'm just thinking of Amin running through the airport.
It's funny. Yeah.
Huffing and puffing, by the
Funny
way.
visual.
I love the commercials where they're like, "Hey, is that Brian Arakpo?" Because it's like you don't know unless they say his name.
I bet you we can do a whole show about all of those because that happens a lot. Hell, they put Tua in uniform because nobody was going to recognize him.
He's
if he
right,
had-
though. Brian Arakpo is like the one.
Well, yeah,
He has no business being in a commercial.
No,
I mean,
he's not.
seriously.
He's not the one. But in that commercial, they had to say, "Hey, look, it's 3-time Pro Bowler Brian Arakpo or whatever it was." Like,
That's what it was. That's
Like,
exactly what it was.
His resume.
There's a CarMax or whatever commercial that has
His name was spelled out phonetically.
that has Sue Bird and Shanae and stuff, and it's like, hey, did you have to settle when you won 2 MVPs and the 3 times? Like that when they're doing the resume reading, that means nobody knows who you are.
but we can play the game. If we open that up right now to the audience and had something live to interact with the audience, you'd get 50 funny ones like that because that commercials have to do that all the time when they want to go to sports for sponsorship, but they're going to somebody who doesn't cross over.
This is why I love all the Head and Shoulders commercials now with Mahomes, because Troy Polamalu's in it, but he's been in those commercials for so long, we don't even have to explain. It's just he's a guy with great hair, and of course he does Head and Shoulders commercials.
What are you smiling about, Zaslow?
I can't stop thinking about him
Amin.
running through the airport.
All right, can you guys find video, please, of Amin racing Pablo and whoever else it was when we did those races outside of the Clevelander that were a liability risk, and eventually ESPN took them away from us?
What popped in my head was the old Dan Marino Isotona gloves commercials because
Those were great.
we're not wearing gloves in Miami. It's too hot. What are we doing there?
But Marino was wildly famous at the time. Marino's not 3-time Pro Bowler Brian Arakpo. Like, that's a phrase.
You knew it was Marina.
I don't know if find out for me what he said, because he might not have been a 3-time Pro Bowler. I think they might have actually given him more Pro Bowls in the commercial than he actually had, just because they were false advertising, I feel like.
It was a cupcake commercial via Microsoft. It's like, look, it's Brian Orakpo, Michael Griffin. And you're like, who?
They were making their own cupcakes in that commercial. Yeah, they had a business.
You know, Roy, when you said isotoner, I didn't think of Dan Marino. I thought of OJ.
If it doesn't fit, you must have quit.
There are 3 brands. There are 3 brands that are always associated with OJ. Number 1, isotoners. Number 2, Ford Bronco. Number 3, Bruno Mali shoes.
I mean, look at me. Look at him running.
Nailed it.
OJ is the first. This is the first commercial of this kind we're talking about. That they're imagining you running through an airport, looking like the first commercial there was anywhere on television for anything involving someone from sports.
Yeah, I mean, look, and by the way, as a show in this video, sans any context. The context of me coming off a red eye, nobody cares. The context of me wearing Jordan 5s, nobody cares. Well, and yeah, like there's heavy shoes, sweats and stuff. Billy's wearing not 90s ass shorts, but like some modern stuff. Billy, former D1 athlete. Also, I cooked Pablo, but no one ever seems to mention that Pablo came in 3rd in that race. And then Chris came, and I won't lie, I was kind of blown away by how fast Chris was.
At what point during the running through the airport did you text the Uber driver and let him know that you got there?
After I got on the plane.
When you were sitting, right?
I had to say,
right,
I don't want
to catch your breath, right?
If I text him and then I don't catch the flight, now I feel like an idiot. So I had to make sure it was confirmed. I'm on the plane.
You don't want to look stupid in front of the Uber.
No.
And you don't want to jinx it, right?
I found some audio here of one of these Orakpo commercials.
You said you'd get me on the field.
I did get you on the field.
You are Brian Orakpo, all-pro linebacker. Surely you could do better than this.
You think he was ever all-pro?
I want to say thank you after he tells me who it is.
I don't think
You are all-pro.
I
Thank
don't think. Please look up whether he was actually an all-pro.
All-pro?
Oh, he had to be.
No, I felt like I thought the reason I'm remembering a commercial from 20 years ago is because they also got it wrong.
To be fair, that's a very confusing thing about football. To have all-pro and Pro Bowl.
I thought he was
a
a Pro Bowler and not an All-Pro.
Too many pros.
Brian Orakpo, all-pro linebacker. Surely you could do better than this.
4-time Pro Bowler. I mean,
But is that All-Pro?
But it's not all-pro.
I'm being told
That's
from
all
the
pro.
other
No,
room,
it's not.
never
Yes,
an
it
all-pro.
is.
No, it's not.
The other room is saying never an all-pro.
all right,
Completely different.
all right.
Why are you?
I mean, you made the Pro Bowl. You're all pro.
No, all-pro is they need first team all-pro, second team all-pro.
Stugotz.
I don't know.
Pro bowlers, you
Debatable.
can be like the 7th replacement.
I'm gonna stick up for Stugotz on this one.
Thank you.
That's football's fault.
Right.
Why are you naming things the same thing?
Yep.
They're 2 different awards.
Thank
Have
you,
2
man.
different names.
Mm-hmm.
They
Again,
should have said Pro Bowler. They're wrong.
That's correct. This is the part I'm getting to. I don't understand why everybody. Stugotz is still don't know. And I'm like, no. The reason that it's funny is not merely because Andrew Luck is over enunciating, introducing to an audience. Here's this person with a funny name.
That's not Andrew Luck. That was a caveman.
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
You said you'd get me on the field.
I did get you on the field.
You are Brian Orakpo, all-pro linebacker.
Thank you.
Not thank you, Stugotz. He's not an all-pro. It's also wrong. So it's not merely that they're introducing him to the audience to sell something. They're doing so incorrectly. It's the reason that I remember that commercial. But the thing that I was trying to get to here with the rest of you is I legitimately feel bad for Mike Ryan, who has left the show in disgrace today because he went viral yesterday the way that he went viral.
I need to jump in real fast. I just got a text from David Sampson, and I hope this is meant for air. I got Zaz Pearl Jam tickets, texted Dan, need answer ASAP, total rush job.
Oh.
Am I telling David yes? Or are we working on better
Did he get
tickets?
him 2 for each night?
I'll follow
Well,
up.
let's
Yes.
get David back on to negotiate free work from Zaslow on behalf of the company, if indeed this is something that he can execute. I don't think people understand what a hard thing David Sampson just did. Wow. Like that. This is difficult. Look, locally, Pearl Jam does not play.
Never.
Like, and Pearl Jam is at the end of this, and my wife and I have gone and seen Pearl Jam.
I'm excited that you're going.
We don't think they're going to play very much anymore. And Zaslow cares about Pearl Jam more than I know.
You see this sweatshirt I'm wearing?
It says Pearl Jam on it.
That's what it says. Stugotz, a successful reader. Zaz,
for the audio audience.
In case the audience didn't know,
yes,
Dan, you know?
Zaz, a successful wearer of Pearl Jam. You have much Pearl Jam gear?
I have much Pearl Jam gear.
Well, we got to negotiate on air then, right? Like, the thing that I was beginning to say about the things happening at our company, because Samson's getting more and more power, and we've got to be careful about that.
Well, you have to.
Everybody needs to be. Everybody needs to be. Because, what are you giving me the thumbs
I'm
up
seeing
about?
Samson in my Zoom screen right now, so he's here.
Okay.
I'm telling you, Samson got you I'm just telling you.
Oh,
what
look
he
at
did.
that Punim. Look at that.
He got you 2 tickets each night. They're probably like last row tickets. That's not what you want, Zaz.
So, can you do better?
I'm trying. Are you?
I have not yet begun to try, but I'm guessing that I could. Well, what's better? I don't know what.
Well, let's see what Samson got.
But let's negotiate this. Let's watch Samson in negotiation. But before I do that, because I just do want to get to the thing I was saying, I feel bad because Mike Ryan left the show. I don't know why he left the show today, but there was shame involved for him yesterday in going viral in a costume. And one of the reasons that John Amici is here wrestling David Sampson to make sure that our company is run correctly so that everybody feels cared for is at least in part because we're trying to make the show better than it has been, and because costumes around here are not something that anyone will wear, even though a bunch of people own a bunch of different punishments and our customers want costumes. And yesterday, by accident, Mike Ryan wearing a costume went viral, which is my favorite thing. I think we should give bonuses, David, when anybody goes viral wearing a costume. But it wasn't as he intended. He was just wearing a ridiculous shirt. And so what ended up happening is he comes after Ryan Clark, and Ryan Clark got some information wrong. Mike sounded pompous, but Mike was also right. But Mike was wearing a ridiculous shirt. So can you guys put up, please, the video of, the picture of the shirt that Mike Ryan was wearing? Yeah, and so you guys... Yeah.
He deserves it, whatever he's getting.
Yeah, but you guys can see why that would be embarrassing.
He looks stupid.
That's
well said, Zaz. Yep.
From a guy wearing a Pearl Jam sweater.
Yep. Says Pearl Jam.
Yeah, but I want to go to Pearl Jam. Does he want to go to whatever that shirt is?
All right, so start the negotiation, Samson. Let's watch you negotiate. How much free work are you? You've got the tickets? You've got them secured?
Good to see you, David. How are you?
Hello, how are you doing?
Jesus Christ, don't do that.
David's still laughing from his hit earlier.
It's a very simple equation that we're about to solve for here. I need to know how badly you really like Pearl Jam because I don't have the tickets yet. I need a 10-second soundbite that Eddie Vedder will see because he makes the decisions. And I need 10 seconds on why you deserve 2 tickets to the Thursday night show in Florida.
I've been seeing Pearl Jam every tour since I was 16 years old. They're one of the most important things in the world to me. And the best part about going to see Pearl Jam now is I now also take my now 16-year-old son. He accompanies me to all the shows that I go to. So it's a huge father-son bonding moment now. It's one of the greatest gifts I have in my life is seeing this band with my son.
I think you could do better.
Yeah. Too long.
This
Pretty
is going
great.
to Eddie Vedder, buddy, not to
He
David
loves
Sampson.
family. That was great with Eddie Vedder.
Sing something.
I wouldn't.
That wasn't great, man.
What?
That was
Sing something.
It
Give us
felt-
some yellow lead better.
It felt very rote. I need you
Wow.
to tap into emotion. I need you to get emotional. I need you to, that father-son bond, I need you to really bring it to the surface and also a little musicality to it, too.
Listen. Look at this face right here. Can the camera go on me, please? Not on a mean. Look at me. Look at this face. This is a tired face right here. This is a face that is stressed. This is not a healthy face right now. And the reason that this face looks like this right now is because this has consumed my life. I need to see Pearl Jam in my home city. I live just 10 minutes away from the Hard Rock Live, and I'm going to be sitting in my home on my couch in my underwear while Pearl Jam is playing the Hard Rock Live.
Stop.
I
Do it
need
again.
to be
Take
at this
3.
show.
Yeah.
Too long.
We're going to have to take 3 with a couple rules. 1,
Sing.
no mention of skivvies. Let's start with that.
What's a skivvy?
Eddie's not interested in your undies.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Have you ever heard anyone refer to underwear as skivvies at Le Batard Show?
Only on TV.
What you want him to try a third time? What are these like? I appreciate that you're treating him like a trained monkey here, but I would like for you guys to actually negotiate.
No, but David is saying this video is going to help David secure the ticket, so he needs it to be good.
Thank you,
Listen,
Stu.
I
didn't
will
realize we need a translator.
I will hit on something that will really tug on David's heartstrings here. Okay?
Zaz, if I may, here's the problem. You're delivering it as a radio professional, which means you have a great direct voice. It's clear, it's strong, but right now you're begging, buddy.
Well,
and you
I don't think it's not nice. It's not right for me to grovel.
Well, you got to grovel. It's Eddie Vedder.
No, I have self-respect. All right, I'm not going to grovel. I'm not going to grovel here. But
all right, then don't go to the show.
But something that you've been groveling.
Yeah,
you come in here today. Use our platform to grovel.
Well, I mean, that's your interpretation. But I will say something that will tug at David's heartstrings here. I already told you. Some people work for food. Okay. I will work for Pearl Jam tickets. That's right. I'm here. Actually, I'm here tomorrow, but I could also come on Friday. I work the rest of the week, David. I know how much you love saving money. I've seen it firsthand. Been a Marlin fan since 1993. I know how much you love saving money.
You're not trying to convince David, though.
What do you mean I'm not trying to convince David? Of course I am.
Talk to Eddie.
Okay,
Eddie Vedder doesn't care about my time with the Marlins.
Now, Zaz, let me tell you right now, the tone you hit right there, excellent. That's where I want you to be. Stay right there.
Oh, but wait
now
a minute.
The content has to be.
I mean, you're right to coach him this way, but if we were to test sort of how Zaslow feels about things, however much he loves Pearl Jam, is how much he hates David Sampson saving money on the Marlins.
But the point is that David brought up, it's like you're not supposed to impress David. Yeah. You're impressing Eddie Vedder. So talking about the Marlins, Eddie Vedder's like, I don't give about the Marlins. He gives a shit about Pearl Jam. So use that tone, but talk about Pearl Jam. Bring back the Sun element. I really like that family vibe. Yeah. Do that, but with that same tone.
He's missing something, though.
What's he missing?
He has something. He has a ace in his back pocket that he hasn't played. He hasn't thought of it yet. He's got his own name in a Pearl Jam song done by this show that he could also put out and be like, listen to this.
That's true.
I'm so Pearl Jam. My name is the part of the song.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Ed.
And feel free to mention, Zaz, if you don't mind, that you did not get what you're wearing for free.
That's right.
Yeah, you pay for your merch, and they get a better cut. Yeah. They get a better cut on the merch than they do on the show tickets.
Okay.
So that's
tell them everything.
All right, listen. I'm looking straight at you, Eddie Vedder, and your bandmates. I've
wrong camera.
Okay, there we go. Ed. I'm looking straight at you, Ed, as you could tell by me looking right at the camera, okay? I would never look at the opposite camera. I would never look at the wrong one. I'm looking right at you. I love your band so much. You have given me some of the greatest nights of my life since I was a young Jonathan Zaslow, since I was a young man trying to figure out who I am in this world, okay? You helped me discover who I am. And then, as I got older, I had children. And I now get to take my teenage boys to the shows with me. It's a family affair, Eddie, all right? And the idea that I would miss this time with my family and you, we're all part of it together. We're all a family. I gotta be there to see you at the Hard Rock Live next week to complete our family. We need to be together. And I paid for this right here, this merch, with my hard-earned money. Mm-hmm. That's right. Excellent. I work so that I could also buy merchandise.
Okay.
Now sing it.
Please stop
We're
pushing
good here,
him.
Stu.
Please,
not get crazy.
Always asking for more. He cannot help. He cannot help. It's going to say it on his tombstone. Always asking for more. I don't understand. Before we get to Zaslow,
very nervous.
This is what I don't understand. Perhaps our crack training team here will explain to me what happened. Please explain to me how in the other room Tony wants to throw it to a song and surprises an executive producer with a thick song who's still looking for it because they didn't coordinate to play that song like producers would as Tony.
It's insane! Oh, yeah! John Zaslow! Clutch again. Clutch again.
Samson, I need your help here. Close this out. Get him Pearl Jam tickets, and what does it cost? How much does he have to work for free?
So the video did help because I clipped, sent, response received.
What?
That was quick.
This is how we work here at Metalark. It's a pretty simple thing.
He's got a better ticket guy.
Eddie Vedder is more responsive than Stugotz's ticket guy.
He's got a better ticket guy than I do.
Said yes.
I've seen this ticket guy at work. He's fantastic. So
here's how we're going to do it, Zaz, and we're organized enough to do this despite all evidence to the contrary, is that I would like to help make a memory for you and your son on Thursday night with 2 premium best tickets you've ever had.
What?
For Pearl Jam.
Whoa,
And
premium.
in return, what I'm going to need from you, I'm going to need your best work, and I'm going to need it throughout the Panthers' run to defend their Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
So while the Panthers are still in the playoffs,
for free,
I'm going to need 2 appearances per round that they are in until they're eliminated.
No, that's nothing, David.
Easy work. I'm in, David.
David, why are you starting low, David?
Right.
Oh, because they're going to go to the Stanley Cup, and we're going to get 6 to 8 days of Zaz for free.
He would do 6 months for free. That's what Dan is saying.
David.
You're coming in very cheap, David. David,
I'm coming in to close. I'm a closer.
Yep, that's how you get a deal done. You know what I want.
I'm not going to be a schnorr. I'm not going to grovel because he could have gone on Game Time and saved himself a few seconds of video.
Love Game Time.
I've got to stop everybody here. Roy, you're as disappointed as I am here, right? Like that's
Don't do
not
that.
that's not he. Do you know how much Zaslow would give up to have this?
I said 6 months.
Having him come in here a few times.
Not a chore either. Love coming in here. Love it.
I don't have any idea. Samson, are you going to be negotiating on behalf of Metalark? Like, I need you to not be if that's how poorly you do it.
I would like you to evaluate that at the end of the Stanley Cup run because my bet is the Panthers are going to go all the way, Sly Fox. And I believe that there is an opportunity to have Zaz add to your show, make you happy, and do it with the price.
I'll make you so happy.
All right, so David, I know Zaslow was thinking this. He doesn't want to ask it. I'll ask for him. How about the second night?
What a schnurr! What a schnurr!
You're thinking it, though.
Well, but wait a minute. So I feel like I can get the second night.
Ooh.
This is what I'm talking about.
I feel, but wait, but how much? What's legal here, David?
I already told my guy, forget it.
In terms of how
he didn't have a guy.
Stugotz was gonna be the hero, but.
Buddy, I like to let other people shine. David, you can have this one.
But he's unselfish. He's unselfish. What can I do here to get the payoff? Are you here tomorrow?
Yeah.
For free.
David, are there legalities involved here? Because I don't feel like you negotiated that very well. I feel like we might
Someone committing a crime?
Well, I just feel like I'm just stunned that David came in so low on something that he got when the return he could have gotten is free work from an employee.
Maybe he appreciates that I'm a nice boy.
We are getting free work for what I perceive to be the chance of 8 extra days plus Friday. So
David.
that's
But
9.
David, we're telling you, Dan and I know Zaslow. He would have done 8 months, is what we're telling you.
Zaslow would work for free for a year for this company in exchange for what you're offering him.
Panthers don't play year round.
David, they're just calling you Nico Harrison right now.
It's just a terrible trade. It's a terrible.
You understand that defense wins championships?
All right, we got to revisit this. Goodbye.
My man.
From game night to parties with friends or special anniversary, celebrating important occasions means more moments with the coolest people in your life. Cheers to 50 years of Miller Lite, the great tasting light beer for people who love beer since 1975. Now's a perfect time to celebrate legendary stories with friends, family, and a great tasting light beer. It's Miller time. When I think of Miller Lite, I think of me and my dad cheersing, watching a Marlins game on a cruise together. We get the tsk-tsk-ah and the cheers. It's just, when I think of Miller Lite, I think of times with my dad, times with family and friends. It's the original light beer since 1975, still iconic 50 years later. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
I was very frustrated. Video did find, but told me they couldn't instantaneously put up the O.J. Simpson running through an airport commercial at Le Batard Show. There is a generation, right? Put it on the poll. Is there a generation that has no idea, or are there two generations that have no idea about the O.J. Simpson running through an airport commercial?
I would argue, Chris, do you know that commercial?
I'm aware of it. I feel like I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
Anyone younger than me is probably not aware
Juju,
of that.
where are you on this? Surely Juju remembers the commercial. Where are you on this and airports in general, Juju?
Yeah, salute to y'all. Happy to be here. I actually don't remember too much about the O.J. Simpson situation. I know I'm not as old as Roy. You feel me? You know, my boy was born in B.C., but I'm not too familiar with the O.J. situation. But Amin was talking about airports, and trust me, bro, I know that struggle and stress. I'm usually on that side of rushing to the airport more than I am getting there on time. Like, I have no business making none of the flights that I always make. Salute to Amin, I feel your pain.
Juju, I always had you as someone who showed up super early, like our buddy Jerv, 2 hours before takeoff.
I would think that Juju would be. I would think that Juju would be afraid, given the way that he looks, to run through a place that's dangerous running.
I would have Juju being afraid of going somewhere that has so many germs and not having adequate time to wipe everything down. That's why I thought you would be there early.
I have Juju doing what I do when I go to the airport, which is smoke weed in the garage, and you just take it right up to the last possible minute. Thank you. Yep.
There we are. And I got TSA pre-check. I got global entry. I'm walking straight through most of the situations. You feel me? So, yeah, I'm rarely there 20 minutes before the flight.
I'm pretty sure Juju famously once was in this studio and was like, yeah, my flight leaves in a half hour. And we were all like, you're not making it. And then he sent us a picture on the plane, just like, got it.
Hell yeah, salute to y'all. I came through. Also, I'm sad to see my brother Zaslow left. I was trying to help him with his Eddie Vedder pitch with his ticket situation. I got a little something for my boy. You go with something like this: Eddie, Mike, Stone, Jeff, Matt, Dave, and Jack. Just breathe, Zaz. Just breathe. You got this. The song "Better Man," it actually made me a better man for my wife and my now son, who I would love to take to your show and just give him the experience and show him what the guys that keep me alive. Oh, man. Sincerely, Zaslow.
Dude, how many people are in Pearl Jam?
Yeah, I was like,
but you got to name all the names, just so you know. You don't just care about Eddie.
Matt.
It's not that many, but I don't think it's that many people in Pearl Jam. I think he named too many. I think he was fooling a bunch of people who don't know how many people there are in Pearl Jam. Like, you just named a bunch of white names. Like, that's
Toby.
How many? Who were those people, and were they real? Outside,
you got to cover all the bases, Dano. You got to cover all the bases.
Palmer.
I don't believe that's an accurate reflection of the names of the people, Travis,
Tyler,
people in Pearl Jam.
John, Paul,
Juju
George,
nailed it.
Ringo.
Do you have anything for us, Juju? Any thoughts in general? I love how Rich Paul is moving through the space of being LeBron James's consigliere. What are your thoughts there as I see Rich Paul pop up again and again on McAfee as a voice for all things LeBron economy?
Dirty bastard.
Right. I mean, Joker. Bro, I think you got to put some more respect on Chris Bosh's name. Like, he tried to put the respect on his name, saying that he bowed down and gave ultimate professional was what he was doing. Sheesh, look at me, choked up.
What are you, Chris Cody?
But yeah, I mean,
it's distracting when Amin starts doing that. It's hard to keep your train of thought when Amin does the show the way it's supposed to be done.
Right. He said, basically, for people who don't know, he said there was never a big three in Miami. You feel me? It was just the big two, and Chris Bosh took the back seat. And I think that's, you know what I mean? That's rich coming from Rich Paul, because it was a big three, and you need that big three to be able to play that role, to get that block, to make that pass. I think we got to put a little bit more respect on Chris Bosh's name.
Thank you. Before we get to the polls that we are going to update, Chris, please find me the sound of you stumbling through your words to celebrate each poll. Tony, why are you laughing at Chris Cody just shouting "fuck" as Roy? Why? Explain
It's
to me.
a fun game watching Chris trying to find
Because he's
something.
got a lot of plates being spun, man.
He's got a heavy
And
tongue.
I'm eating lunch.
He's got a heavy tongue. Like he's in the middle of just shoving food in his face instead of being the executive producer.
You want one sound, another sound comes out.
I
he says,
just
"Fuck."
need him to run the show and not be shoving food in his face. Fat Chris Cody eating sausages all day. Quit fucking doing that. Fat Chris Cody.
Congratulations to Jalen Hurts for being voted Time 100 most influential people in the world. One of them, just to change the subject to anything other than that.
Thank you, Juju.
Also salute to Bradley Beal for standing up for himself, exposing that one of the reasons that him and Coach didn't get along was that Coach asked Bradley Beal to play more like Drew Holiday, which Bradley Beal took a lot of offense to. So that might have been a little bit more juice in the Coach Bud tree information list. But yeah, I had to get out of there somehow. Poll number 1. Do all Uber drivers have stories out the wazoo? 88% of the audience says yes, they do.
Yep.
Can you ever get from a curb to a flight within 20 minutes? 62% of the audience says no, you cannot. Dang.
I'm stunned. I really am stunned. I mean, the times you gave on that flight sounded like an exaggeration. Not just, I believe you can get from the curb to the gate. I just believe the plane has already been closed up. It hasn't left, but they're going to give 10 minutes before it leaves, and they've locked it up.
So it's 11:37 takeoff. That means 11:27 is when they close the door. So I just had to hit before 11:27.
You got from Golden State, Memphis to the gate in how much time?
Ooh, so I left the arena at like 10:45, but the problem was I was stuck in traffic for forever. And at 11:08, I was still on the freeway, and I'm thinking to myself, "There's no way I'm going to catch it."
And you had until 11:27. So
11:27.
what time did you get to the actual curb?
From the arena to the curb, because the time you're talking about, it doesn't make sense to me. I would think after a game of that magnitude, you wouldn't be able to get out of the traffic. How close is the airport to the arena?
It's with no traffic, it's about 15, 20 minutes. But with traffic, obviously, it was a nightmare. And I thought, because I waited, I wanted traffic to thin down. But the problem was because it was such a close game, everybody left at the same time, making traffic a lot worse. But to answer your question, I got to the curb probably 11:15.
Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
And Golden State traffic is the worst. San Francisco
Terrible.
traffic?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know how you did that.
That was a sprint. That's how he did it.
Yeah, and by the way, as Juju, I'm sure this happens all the time to you. Is the gate always the furthest effing gate possible? It's never like the first gate. Every single time I had to run through the entire length of the airport.
Yep. Also, too, earlier in the show, Dan, you had a couple of gasps, but give yourself some grace, brother. Like, give yourself grace. I know you tried to apologize and it didn't come out the way you wanted it to.
What?
With the whole
Juju,
Pablo
maybe
situation.
you can clear this up.
I just want to extend my brother some grace. Give yourself the grace you extend to others because you deserve it, brother. Moving on. Did you know that it is only female cows that give milk? 87% of the audience says yes, they do.
I really want to play the game with Tim Kirkshin, just basic things he doesn't know. We're going to find.
He made my day.
Oh,
man.
my God, was it delightful to see him again. It really was.
13% of y'all are making some happy bulls out there.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised that Tim Kirkshin knows more about Buck Showalter? Sheesh. Are you surprised that Tim Kirkshin knows more about Buck Showalter than he knows about his own son? 72% of the audience says no, they're not surprised.
That's a bit unfair, man.
We really did frame him there.
Is a year with a vending machine a good run? 63% of the audience says yes, it is a good run.
Fat Dan Le Batard did what Fat Dan Le Batard did.
How does that not enrage it? Like, I'm real. I feel like when I be seeing people talk about Dan online, I be having to go to the mirror and be like, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. What the heck is bothering me, son? Like that be like, and I hate to see people bother you, Dan. So, you know what I mean? I'm salute to Dan Dockage, but ease up on my brother, man. Like live your own life, get your own traction. Neither here nor there.
Juju, what if he's right though? Just asking the question. What if he's right?
Right.
He's not right. You gotta give the people who you have problems with, give them a phone call, see if you can talk it out, have this conversation. You don't take to the media and talk to umpteen people about your problem with one person.
It's sports radio, we do. Yeah.
Hear that, Dan?
He's factually right though.
He is fat.
I mean, touche. If you like it, I love it.
No, I wouldn't say I like it.
No one likes it.
I'm not arguing that I like it, but good point, Dockage.
Fat Dan Le Batard did what Fat Dan
you got
Le
it right,
Batard
yes.
did.
And racist Dan Dockage does what he does.
Hey.
Right, this time, because he's always poked his head up a couple of times over the years. So, I don't like people bothering you, bro.
Thank you.
Last
Juju.
poll. Do you know what a snorer is? 93% of the audience says no, they do not. And I was one of the 93%. Those are your polls.
As am I. Juju, thank you. I do want to close on this note because I've told Chris Cody this before. His father had one of the great lines in the history of writing, and I still remember it. It was, Phil Jackson is up 3-0 in a series about the Heat. There's a game in Chicago, and Phil Jackson is up 3-0 with Michael Jordan. I think it's Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway's team. And Phil Jackson, because he had to go to his high school graduation of his son, took a helicopter from the high school graduation to get to the game in time. And Greg Cody wrote, never in the history of sport has a man rushed more to a place he was needed less than Phil Jackson that day. I salute you, Amin, for doing one better than Phil Jackson. Never has a man rushed more to get to a place where he was needed less than you today.
You're welcome.